Hi, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be painting some kind of whimsical landscapes today in a grid format. I'm going to be using gouache paints today. So I'm using this set from Winsor and Newton. So it's just 10 colours, so I'm going to be doing some mixing. I've got my paint palette here. See, I use this for my watercolours and I don't want to clean it because it's a waste of paint, isn't it? So I've just found a few palettes that are pretty much empty, so I'm going to use those ones to do the mixing. What else? Probably some black and white pens as well, so white Posca, and then probably the black pigment liners as well. The paper is just watercolour, 300 GSM, 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So I've already drawn out the grids using a pencil and ruler, but what I like to do is then go over freehand with a pen. I'll use that one. This is 0.2 because I like the freehand look of straight lines, but if I don't draw them first in pencil, then they're really, really wonky. So I'm just going to draw over these pencil lines. I don't want them completely straight, but if I didn't draw them first, they would not be straight in the slightest. I realised recently that I've been doing grid journaling for a long time, but I had no idea what it was called. It was only recently I discovered it's actually called grid journaling. I find that quite often actually, that I've been doing something for a long time and then you find out that it's actually a thing and it's got a name and everything. So I've just got 5 different size grids on this page. Like I said, I'm just going to be doing some whimsical kind of landscapes. I suppose I like the grid idea because you can try out lots of different ways of painting, I suppose. And it all kind of, if you're using the same colours and media, it all comes together really nicely. Right, so that's the grid I'm going to be using. So let's try and mix some colours. So I'm kind of going for quite a pastel-y sort of look. So I guess I'm going to need a lot of white. Okay, I just had to go and get some other gouache paints because this white has dried up. I don't know how long ago I used it, but the others are okay. But I've got this set as well. It's got more colours in it too, so this white is okay. So like I said, I'm kind of looking for sort of pastel-y colours. Actually, maybe that one. So that one was Spectrum Red. I've got a primary red there as well, but that's Spectrum Red. And then I use a cerulean blue from the other set. Green Mid, this is called. There we go. That's the white. What else was I going to do? That was rose. And then maybe an orange yellow. If you're not familiar with gouache paints, they're often described as a kind of opaque watercolour. So they give really good coverage, they're quite nice and bright as well. And I think I might do more of a yellow as well. Put that one in there. Okay. Right, so I've got yellow, an orangey peachy colour, pink, darker pink, blue and green. Okay. So yeah, in the end, I've mainly used this set instead. Royal Langnickel. I think these are from the works in the UK. Or maybe Amazon, actually. Yeah, not exactly, as far as I know, not a well-known brand like Winsor & Newton, but yeah, I must have had these for years. Oh well. And some of them are okay. so there are the backgrounds, hills and sky at the moment. I'm just going to leave it to dry. Okay, it doesn't take long to dry. So what I'm going to do is paint some trees, and then I'm going to just mix the colours I've already got to make brown for the trunks. But at the moment I'm just going to use the same colours to do some trees. Okay, so I'm just going to use the black and white pens now to just doodle some designs on top. I really like doodling over background paint. I find it really relaxing. You can just be really creative as well. I don't know if you saw my last video, the Zen Tangle, Zen doodling one. Yeah, if you're stuck for ideas, I do quite a lot of different kind of patterns on that one. But yeah, I find, I don't know if you've always been a doodler like me, just when you're on the phone or in a meeting or something, you just start doodling, and it's quite interesting to see what patterns you come up with actually, when you're not really concentrating too much. But I also like when I'm doing something like this with landscapes, it's interesting to see kind of what patterns you put where, and if you're thinking about textures and things. Like when I did the clouds, I always think of them as quite kind of like curly, wavy patterns, and yeah, maybe the fields, the hills, maybe a patchwork kind of pattern. Flowers and trees are often quite dotty as well, and also quite swirly, like the branches as well. So yeah, it's really interesting. So if you've not done it before, I'm definitely recommend having a go. So like I've said before, I do it either over watercolor usually, or alcohol ink is, I think, probably what I started doodling over. It really brings to life your paintings, I think. So it's lots of fun. If you haven't done it before, just give it a go. I tend to use black and white pens to do doodling, but also gold and silver as well. And occasionally I use sort of a range of colours. It just depends what look I'm going for, what colour paints or inks I've used as well. But I think black and white probably tend to look the best. Actually, I was going to mention I did publish a book a while ago. It's like a reverse colouring book. So I've provided you with the background colours, different shapes and everything, and then you just need to put the lines on top. So all you need for it is literally a black or white pen. Yeah, and just kind of see what patterns you can come up with. If you're the sort of person that often looks at the clouds and sees things, sees shapes and animals and whatever, it might be an ideal book for you. I don't know if I can do links. If I can, I'll put one to it if you're interested. Okay, there we go. I've finished landscapes. I really like the effect the gouache paint gives, actually, kind of the opaqueness and the quite bold colours, which I really like. Anyway, I shall see you again soon.